Hey, what's up YouTube? It's abluegolfball here today with another Pokemon TCG online video, and today I have for you guys a pretty unique deck. I actually ran into a player who had a build like this. I didn't actually get a chance to look at his deck list, but from what I was able to put together, I think this is pretty close, if not my bad. I couldn't get exactly to your list. I apologize if I can't remember your name. I forgot to catch your name. I didn't write it down either. So, but yeah, this is the Gallade deck build around this Gallade card, the 150 HP fighting type Pokemon from the breakthrough set here, number 84 out of 162. We see the ability Premonition here. We've seen it before. However, once during your turn before your attack, you may look at the top 5 cards of your deck, put them in back on top of your deck in any order. So very cool. We're going to combine this with a couple of cards here to get the exact cards we need all the time, or not all the time, not exact cards, but get the cards that we'd prefer. Alright, you get the idea. Sensitive Blade here is actually a pretty cool attack. You hit for a base damage of 60. And if you played a supporter card from your hand during this turn, this attack does 70 more damage. And, it's pretty typical to play a trainer before your attack. So, wow, hitting for 60 base plus 70 more damage, that's 130 damage. And if you're up against an EX, we're going to be playing Fighting Stadium. Perhaps we even have a Muscle Band. That's going to be an additional 40 damage. So you can hit it for 170 on an EX, which is pretty solid if you ask me. Again, we're going to be combining a number of cards here to make this work. So first things first, we will have a 1/1 line of Octillery here with Abyssal Hand, and this is actually pretty cool with Premonition here being able to look at the top 5 cards. Now if you actually downsize your hand to nothing, Abyssal Hand would get all 5 cards, so you might as well not use Premonition, unless of course you have 3 cards in your hands and then you use Premonition and then use Abyssal Hand and get the 2 cards you actually want off of those top 5 cards from your deck. We do have Slurpuff here with Tasting. Once your turn before your attack, you can draw a card. If this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, you can draw 1 extra card, so that's 2 cards, and maybe we can even use Light Pulse if we need to. To maximize Slurpuff, we actually use Zoroark to rush in or stand in and retreat, and Mind Jack is also a good attack as well, assuming your opponent has more than 3 Pokemon. It's already hitting for a devastating amount of 100 damage actually if 3 Pokemon's on the bench. Mind Jack hitting for 10 base plus 30 more damage for each bench Pokemon on your opponent's side of the field. Stand in here is basically like Caldeo's rush in, and then with Floatstone you can retreat. So this means that Slurpuff can potentially do Tasting, for a pretty good amount, especially if a Pokemon just got knocked out, and then you can use Tasting, and then you can stand in and then retreat into an attacker. I will run 1 copy of Bunnelby here for both Burrow and Rototiller here. Shuffle a card from discard pile back into your deck. This is actually kind of nice. That way you can shuffle back DCEs, and perhaps if you are running your opponent down somehow, it's getting down to the wire, you can use Burrow to discard the top card of your opponent's deck, maybe deck them out and win it that way. So that's the Pokemon lane here. We're doing a 3-3-3 line of Gallade. We will be running 1 rare candy in case we really do need it. And so you can see lots of cards here for item cards and whatnot. 1 battle compressor here. I found this to be pretty convenient to be able to battle compress and get rid of some things, either early game or late game. For example, if your deck if your deck is still pretty thick, but you have a full bench, you won't need to see Bridget anymore. So perhaps you would want to discard Bridget and move on with your game and things like that. Or early game, if you have Via Seeker in your hand, you can discard a supporter and then use Via Seeker to get that supporter back into your hand and play that supporter. We have Level Ball here because we have a lot of Pokemon under 90 HP. Rare Candy, again, just for that Stage 2 line, the Gallade Stage 2 line. Super Rod is going to come pretty handy here. Now, this can be a pretty good infinite cycle, perhaps, maybe not. With Bunnelby being able to use Rototiller. If you're thinning out, if your deck is running out, you could Super Rod some things back in and then use Rototiller from Bunnelby to shuffle things back into your, shuffle the Super Rod back into your deck as well. And that way you have not an infinite supply of resources in your deck, but at least you won't deck out that way. We do have 2 Ultra Balls here, as well as 3 Via Seekers, 2 Bridgets, and Karina. Now, I would say 2 Bridgets is a little bit heavy, but I do like having a really good start with getting 3 basics onto your bench. So we don't play any EXs, so we don't need to worry about that. It's always getting those basics right onto our bench. So we do play a variety of different basics, 4 different types of basics, well, actually 5 basics for that matter. 1 Karina. This is actually pretty helpful. We only have 1 fighting Pokemon in this entire deck, and that's Gallade. You know, Halucha could be squeezed in here if you really want to, but I thought, I mean, playing Karina here, getting the Gallade, and then perhaps getting an Idrencarb, rare candy, could be pretty good. 2 Lysanders, we do want to play Lysanders, it's pretty handy in here, and then Shauna as well, and then Teammates. Teammates is going to be pretty crucial in this deck since our Pokemon does get knocked out pretty easily. We don't play any EXs, Teammates will come in handy, being able to draw any 2 cards from your deck, and you don't need to show it to your opponent. Now, instead of playing Sycamore, I'm actually playing Tierno, and no need to play that dreaded Professor Birch's Observation. I always flip tails in that. So 4 Tiernos here to draw 3 cards. Very simple, just draw 3 cards, and then you can use Sensitive Blade and hit for the optimal amount of damage. 2 Wallies here, because we have a lot of stage 1s and even stage 2s. Lots of evolutions here. 1 Fairy Garden, because we are playing Fairy Energy in case if both these Full Stones somehow get discarded from our Zoroark. To be able to stand in and retreat is pretty crucial, having that flexibility. We are playing 1 copy of Fairy Garden here. We do play Fairy Energy. And then we have Fighting Stadium as well as Training Center. 2 Fighting Stadiums, 1 Training Center, 2 Full Stones, 2 Focus Sashes, and 1 Muscle Band. 4 DCEs, and the rest of these 5 of these Fairy Energies. Now, a couple things that could be changed here. We could alter and get rid of a Fairy Garden for a Halucha, and then change all 5 of these to Fighting Energies. That's definitely that's a thought, something that we could do. And then we could probably I don't know, maybe beef up the number of Muscle Bands, but that's going to be it for the deck analysis. Hopefully you guys get the gist of it. It's pretty fun to play. Kind of complicated to play. You need to get all the pieces out and get everything working in order to really have fun with this deck. But otherwise, it's pretty fun. It's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and see this deck in action here on Pokemon TCG Online. Alright, and we're going to be playing against Chris 89194113 something rather, and we're going to be calling the coin toss here. We're going to go for heads, and it's tails. We lost the coin toss. Of course we will lose the coin toss. We always lose the coin toss. I'm kidding. Sometimes I do win it. And yeah, so we see a fire coin there. Perhaps my opponent's playing with a fire deck. I didn't pay attention in the beginning to see what kind of deck he was playing, so got to wait and see what Pokemon, if he finds any. We're going to start off the routes here. We'll play the routes and also the Zorua onto the bench and go on our merry way. So let's take a look and see how this is going to be going. Okay, so we see Zubat right there, 2 Zubats. Maybe we're going to be up against some kind of, I don't know, maybe Mega Houndoom EX deck with bats, I'm guessing. We see a Battle Compressor, so we could see something like 2 Fire Energies and Blacksmith. Oh, look at that! I called it. Oh my goodness, we saw 2 Blacksmith, or 1 Blacksmith and 2 Fire Energies. Here is a secret rare. Ooh, we see a Giovanni scheme right there with the Trainer's Mail, secret rare Trainer's Mail there. Never mind, no Giovanni scheme. We just see that get discarded with the Professor Sycamore and getting a nice fresh hand size of 7. Here is the Houndoom EX. So we do see the Houndoom EX as well as a Spirit Link right here. And there is the Ultra Ball, discarding a couple things right there. Wow, look at that. Just going through everything. We see a Hex Maniac there as well. Okay, so that Hex Maniac could come in, could be pretty scary for us. I don't really want to see that happening, especially when we rely so much on abilities like Premonition and our Tasting and Abysmal Hand. So there's a Shaman helping my opponent to draw more cards. He's off to a really good start. This start is brutal. Oh my goodness. Hopefully he does not get an energy drop here and just passes turn. Thank goodness he passes the turn. No energy drop there. We start off with, oh my gosh. I'm going to play the basic energy instead of the double colorless in case he plays Zero Sick or Enhance Hammer or something like that. So that's it. We're just past turn here. I'm going to hang on to the training center in case he does play a stadium, so then our stadium does not get countered right away. In the next turn, if he doesn't do anything, I'm going to play down the Zoroark and also the Full Stone, and then the DCE to rush in or stand in and then hit for a knockout on the Zubat. And we see my opponent go for an Ultra Ball, bring out the Golbat. Let's see who he targets. Maybe the routes. Oh, never mind. He targets the Zorua instead of the routes with the energy. You figured he would attack the routes with the energy drop over there. That one's getting ready to attack, but he opted to attack the Zorua. Not sure why that happened, but regardless, that's not going to change their plan. Besides the fact that I might play Training Center now. Good thing we didn't play it just yet. That is because if we play if we don't play Training Center, our Zoroark is going to be at 80 HP, and if he does evolve into the Mega Houndoom, then he can hit us for 80 without discarding his energy. And if he's going to be playing basic energies, I wouldn't want to do that. Like, I wouldn't want to, you know, not waste an opportunity to see if he burns those energies. So you can see right there, he has got those 2 energies in there. He can still use a Blacksmith to get basic energies back into that Houndoom right there. So we're going to knock out this Golett. And again, like I said, we need that Training Center now that our Zoroark does have more HP. Instead of having 80 HP left and getting a knockout, he needs to discard his energies to hit for 160 to knock out our Zoroark in one shot. So he's going to bring out the Entei instead of bringing out the Houndoom. He probably does not have that Mega Houndoom. Combat Blade is not going to be enough to knock us out, so we look pretty good right there. And we do have a Wally that we could use, I guess, to maybe thin out our deck a little bit. But otherwise, we got to really see if we can dig something out. Maybe we really need to top deck something. We got to get the ball rolling here. We're falling behind. My opponent's getting things set up and Sky Returns, whatnot, and Sycamores and Spirit Links left and right, and all these bats. He's getting set up pretty good right now. And the Entei right now, oh, look at that. Secret Rare, VS Seeker off the Secret Rare Trainer's Mail. Going to be able to power up this Entei right now with the Blacksmith. 2 fire energies for the Combat Blaze. We'll be able to hit us for, what is that, 60 damage, I think. We will survive the turn, and even with the Training Center, of course, that wasn't really needed. Even without the Training Center, we would survive the turn, so we're looking pretty good right here. We do see an energy drop onto the Houndoom on the left over there, and that one's getting ready to go. So getting hit for 60, again, we have plenty of energy, plenty of health, 50 damage left. We'll actually want to survive the next turn if he hits us again, but we will be able to knock out his Entei right now. Gotta wait and see in the next turn. That Houndoom will be able to hit us for a perfect 50 damage. That actually works out, the math works out very well for him. And so we'll hit him for the Mind Jack. Let's see if we can top deck something, or not top deck something, but grab something from the prizes. That's hopefully it's a supporter. Oh man. Oh, it's a Gallade. Nice. Okay, so we can actually promote the routes and have the Gallade sit on the bench. It's a little bit of a risk because we don't really know if we will top deck an energy or not. If we do top deck an energy, then that route will just be out there to be sacrificed, and that's a little bit of a shame, but it is what it is. So we do see the Mega Houndoom come into play. Here is an energy drop. My opponent's down to 1. Oh, never mind. He plays a Judge. That's going to disrupt our hand. We just got our Premonition Gallade right there, and no, we end up getting judged. Oh, wow. Here is getting hit for 80. Again, right there, my opponent did not need to discard that, that basic energy, which, you know, for the burning energy, he would have got back. But again, we're just going to go with the plan here, promote the routes. Oh, we do get the Karina here. I'm actually going to play the Karina instead. So let's go ahead. We will play the Karina instead of the Tierno. And yeah, so times like these, you kind of wish you had Sycamore instead of Tierno, but trust me, I think Tierno works better for this deck than Sycamore, because too often you discard cards that you kind of want to keep, and then you regret it later. So we could go with the Rare Candy right there, or we could go with a Level Ball. Sorry, I'm coughing again. Man, this cold is not leaving me. I've fired this the longest cold ever. Excuse me for a second. Okay. All right. All right, so here we go. We'll go grab the Level Ball here. And we'll just evolve. Now we can use Premonition. We can use this Level Ball and grab the Slurpuff right now. Could go for the Remoraid, but I think I'm going to go for the Slurpuff. Yeah, let's go for the Slurpuff. Okay. Yeah, Tierno for the next turn with the Premonition. We'll be able to draw more cards that way. Ho-ho! We can actually go with the Bridget. And top deck the Bridget. Oh, it's not such a bad idea. We can go with the Curlia, I guess. Oh man, tough call. Yeah. Okay, let's go with that. And then at least we get these two. That's all that really matters. Could go for the energy, actually. Yeah. Now we can attack right away. All right, let's go with the energy and Bridget, and then we can set up our bench that way. So this routes will get knocked out. We'll be tied in prizes. If that's the case, we will promote the Gallade. The Gallade has the Focus Sash, but there's those bats right there. Even if he plays those bats, we will not survive the turn. He can discard those energies and then hit us for 160. Oh my goodness, we get hit with the Judge. Those Premonitions are not working for us because these judges. All these judges are messing us up, messing us over with all our Premonitions. So our Premonitions aren't even working right now. How sad is that? He does Mega Evolve. We have 2 Mega Houndooms that we have to take care of, and this one gets hit for 80. Oh my goodness. Well, with the Training Center, our Gallade is at 180 HP, so he definitely needs to get the bat to knock us out. If not, if he counters the stadium, we'll still survive if he does not have bats. If he counters the stadium and hits us for 160, we will still survive because of the Focus Sash. However, yeah, so we play the Bridget right there. We got the Bumblebee and the Remoraid. I will play the Floatstone probably on the Swirlix here. That way when we do evolve, we can use Tasting for 2 and stuff like that. So let's go for the Premonition here. And again, I think we're going to go and grab probably... maybe yeah, I'll go with the Curlia, DCE, and then Focus Sash and the 2 Tyrannos at the end. So we have Shauna, which we're going to play in the next turn anyway. And so let's go for the Sensitive Blade. I'm really hoping this Gallade will survive the turn. If he does, we can knock out this Houndoom EX, assuming the Houndoom EX cannot do anything else in this situation. Even if he does have something like, what is that, Tool Retriever plus Muscle Band, you know, he won't be able to knock us out since we do have that Focus Sash. The only way he can knock us out at this point is if he has bats. And so I think he's going to be digging for it, using Via Seeker 4 and AZ. AZ picking up that Shaman playing it down for 3 extra cards, which is really nice. But I don't think, let's just hope he doesn't get the bats. Does he have Golbat? Just 1 Golbat would finish, will do the job. And no, he does not. He does not get the Golbat. We got so lucky right there, being able to dodge the bullet here. Getting hit for 160, will survive a turn by 28 HP. Hopefully he does not counter the Stadium. But even if he does, by then, hopefully we'll have something up our sleeves. Let's go with the Shauna here. We will... oh, okay. Don't want to counter the Stadium at this point. I will play the DCE onto the Curly over here, though. And that's about it. We're just going to go for Premonition here. And let's take a look and see if we can top deck something good. Oh, we got a Gallade right there. I'm definitely going to take you. Yeah, I mean, we'll take the Tierno. That way we can draw into the Gallade as well as the Muscle Band. And probably the Via Seeker, yeah. And then Battle Compressor can be last, I suppose. Via Seeker can go ahead and grab, you know, the Shauna or something like that too. So let's go for a Sensitive Blade. We'll knock out this Mega Houndoom. Does he have another energy to power up the other Houndoom? Or does he counter the Stadium? Or does he get a Golbat to finish us off? So let's take, oh, we get a Wally and an Ultra Ball off the prizes there. Down to 2 prizes left. And again, he has to knock out 4 more Pokemon. Since we don't play any EXs, he's got to knock out 4 Pokemon. And here is the Mega Houndoom EX with the Judge again. There it is. Oh my goodness. We still have 27 cards left while our opponent only has 11. Man, we only have 11 cards in the discard pile. Look at that. So we get hit with a Judge right now. I mean, I guess there's worse things that can happen. We still don't have our Octillery. We don't have our Swirlix. Can't do... Oh, look at... Oh, my goodness. This is great. Okay, so the Gallade's going to go out. So he counters the Stadium. Does he have the energy? You know what? I actually would rather... Oh, man. I will promote the Swirlix since it does have free retreat. If he does knock out the Swirlix, no big problem. As long as we get the Octillery, we can draw into wave 5. I'd rather take that than lose the Bumblebee as well. So the Bumblebee... I mean, could have gone with the Bumblebee, but I don't want to burn... I mean, yeah, I could burn the energy on there, but I'll take my chances. And that was it. My opponent just passes the turn. We top deck a Slurpuff. Wow, amazing risk. Oh, man, high risk, high reward there. So we get a Wally, and the energies right there can get discarded. We'll just use the Ultra Ball, discard the energies, and go ahead and grab either the Octillery or the Gallade. I could probably we'll just go ahead and grab the Gallade right here. Wow, we don't have any other basics right now. I could really use that Super Rod to get back some of our basics. Like the Zorua and also the Ralts. If we can get those back, that'll be perfect. So let's go with the Wally. We do know there is an Octillery there. Let's go ahead and evolve. And there we go. Now we can use Abyssal Hand. No need to use Premonition because we're going to grab all 5. So now after using Abyssal Hand, now I'll use Premonition and grab the 2 cards I actually need. And you know what? We could go with, what is that? Teammates, yeah, let's go with that right there. We're going to Teammates and Via Seeker. And let's do the Tasting here, and then we'll retreat, knock out, not quite knock it out, but put a lot of pressure on this Houndoom. And let's go for that Tasting. Again, the Houndoom should be able to knock out our Gallade, but I'll take a chance here. Let's retreat into the Gallade. I'll play the DCE onto the Bumblebee. We gotta find the Super Rod at some point. So when this Gallade gets knocked out, we'll promote the Bumblebee, and then we will be sacrificing 2 more Pokemon. My opponent will be down to 1 prize. I think that's gonna be the plan, and the Bumblebee can find us, or can perhaps shuffle back the DCEs and things like that. So we'll hit him for 150. And we have the Teammates, which can find the Super Rod, and maybe we'll use, you know, Super Rod and then Ultra Ball or something like that, if we do have any more Ultra Balls left. And that way, we can go ahead. We do have the Rare Candy here, and so this is all hopefully falling into plan. Hopefully. Alright, so we get hit with the Infernal Fang. That's going to be 160, knocking us out. He does discard 2 basic energies. Does not have burning energy there, so he needs to use another blacksmith to power him up. So he's going to be down to 2 prizes. We are tied in prizes here. Pretty scary. A little bit worried, but maybe, just maybe, we can still pull this off. Let's promote that Bumblebee, and here we go. Alright, so could have gone with the Slurpuff to use tasting. I should have done that. Shucks. It's alright, though. Let's go and grab the alright, so we do have the Curlia and the Zoroark and the Gallade in there. That means all we need is the basics. And all we need now is the Super Rod as well as the Ultra Ball to get those basics out. And we should be all fine and dandy and on our way. So let's go with a Super Rod right there. Could go with the basic energy too, I think. Let's get that Ralts right there. And yeah, I think if we... yeah, we'll just play the Zero, and yeah, the basic energy looks good. No need to grab those other guys since we do still have them in the deck. Now we have 19 cards in our deck. Certainly not too favorable, but you know what? We have the Ultra Ball, which can guarantee us. Let's get rid of the Tierno. Maybe the Shauna. Yeah, let's get rid of the Shauna and the Lysander. And this way we can just make sure we have the routes. So we do get the routes here, and let's see if tasting can get us anything good as well. So don't forget, we have the Abyssal Hand here. Let's go with the Abyssal Hand, drawing 2 extra cards, and we get an energy off of that. So that must be the energy that we just got. You know what? I'll play it on the routes just in case. I think I can play it onto the Zorua, but all right. Let's go for the... let's see, Rototiller here. Let's bring back the Super Rod, and also, what else? Super Rod, and maybe, yeah, the DCE. What am I thinking about? Yeah, DCE. Of course we need a DCE. That way, when we use VS Seeker, we can just go ahead and grab the Gallade and the DCE, and or I could have just gone in with an energy. I mean, you never know. My opponent could have used what did you call it? Enhance Hammer or Crushing Hammer, something like that too. But we're looking pretty good here. Ooh, here's the the Blacksmith. So pretty darn close game. If he just knocks out the Bumblebee, I mean, actually, you know what? If he does knock out, if he manages, if he has like what is it? Pokemon Catcher, right? That's still legal in the standard format, by the way, right? So if you use Pokemon Catcher and drags out the routes, we still have the Zorua as a backup attacker. But never mind, just knocks out the Bumblebee, and there goes our DC. So we're gonna promote the let's promote the Slurpuff. I actually forgot to do tasting last turn. Not that we really need it anyways. Oh, we even get another VS Seeker. Look at that. So here is the Teammates. Man, Teammates works so well with this deck. I cannot emphasize enough how well Teammates work. Being able to, you know, with all the weak Pokemon that we have, we can easily grab our Gallade and even the DCE, which is right there. Oh, we even have an extra DCE. Look at that. So we didn't even need to shuffle that DCE in, but the more the merrier, right? All right, so here we go. This is going to be it. It's going to be GG right here. We'll promote the Gallade. We can even use Abyssal Hand. We can even use Tasting. There we go. That's the Tasting for forgetting it from the last turn. We'll even evolve right here. We already won the game. We're just being jerks right now. Can still use Abyssal Hand, but let's not waste any more time. I can even use Premonition, but let's not waste any more time and just get the knockout here. Hit for another 150, knocking out this Mega Houndoom EX. And look at that, the last Zorua as well as another energy right there. Fantastic. And knocking out this big bad Houndoom EX. Ooh, look at this. Oh man, so close. And yeah, okay, so let's take a look at the stats right here. Wow, we almost put up 1,000 damage. Not quite, but still, man, I mean, talk about close match, huh? My opponent taking 5 prizes. We took all 6. Came down to the wire. He had 4 cards left. We could have used Bumblebee to perhaps burrow and discard his deck a couple more times. But I mean, that's fine too. I think what we did was just fine. Well, actually, we could have done the burrow. Certainly we could have, since we did have another DC in the deck anyways, and teammates would have been able to get that last one as well as the Gallade. All we really needed was that Super Rod from the teammates, being able to shuffle that in, and then using the Ultra Ball to make sure we get another Ralts into play. So thank goodness he did not have that Pokemon Catcher. Not that anyone ever plays Pokemon Catcher. That'd be really deadly if you use Blacksmith plus Pokemon Catcher, flipping heads, dragging out the Ralts, knocking it out. We did have a backup plan with using Zoroark, since my opponent had, I believe, 4 Pokemon on the bench, and then Zoroark would have hit for 10 plus the 30 for each of those 4. That's 130. That would have been a knockout since the that Mega Houndoom had 150 already on there, so we would have easily knocked it out. I think the game came down to wire, but we kind of had more outs than my opponent and ended up wrapping up the game and winning this match. So anyways, that's it for the video, and yeah, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button below this video, and feel free to send comments down below the video. I do read your comments, and if you had deck suggestions, shoot them my way, and I'll see to if I can build them. You guys take care. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.